Being live. Oh, these allergies are fucking barely talk. Ready. Okay, we're live. Now call this order to me, this meeting to order, the Huntingburg Common Council. And for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Dear Father God, thank you for those council members that are here today, and ask that you be with them in the decisions that they make, and that those decisions are going to be the best for the citizens of Huntingburg. For these things we ask in your precious Son's name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Let's have an extra one. As close as I can get. Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second it.
7:28.
For 7:28. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Right, motion carries. Approval of claims.
Motion to approve claims.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Right, motion carries. The other thing on the agenda, I don't know if I'm going to need Phil's help here a little bit, but state legislator now requires us, in order to receive our $1 million in community crossings grant money that based upon lane mileage, we have to have a wheel tax in place. So what we want to do is adopt a wheel tax. What we consider probably on the lower end, we do have to have it in place by September 1st. This past year, it had to be March 31st. So I just became aware last week that our deadline is September 1st in order to get in. Now, September 1st is when BMV and NDOT has to have our copy of the ordinance signed and approved in place. If not, we could lose out on up to $1 million. Now, what happens is we still apply for CCMG, which we'll be doing next month. This past year, we got 171,000. If we had similar occurrence this time where we got 150, 200,000, we can go back if we have the wheel tax in place and apply for an extra $1 million in June, up to the $1 million to make up the difference in June. Depends on the lane miles, and there's a calculation based upon that. So, but it'd be close to getting us that point. Now, this is not double taxing because you can actually, essentially, we'd be collecting it over the county. We'd still have to contribute to the county road and bridge fund, which right now the county gets 80% of everything that's brought in the county for that. We ended up with 6.4%, I believe, of the county allotment. This will get us a little higher than that. I can't give you the exact number, but it's, we'll have to have it by the time we get to the budget because we have to put that in the budget to be able to collect it. I'm not sure too, if Tom and I talked today, whether that'll be a county that's collecting it and giving it to us like we do the other taxes, or how that'll work.
So how will it affect individuals when they go get their plates? Basically the same as what it is.
They'll just pay it at the time they get their plates.
like they do now.
We're not double taxing, just be clear with that. So
We're just gonna get our share. of
we'll
what's-
get our share and yeah. We'll just get a bigger share than we've gotten in the past. But our share, taxes that we pay here will go to, portion will go to the county, but they won't go to the other communities that are there. They'll have to do their own tax in order to do that. So it's not a lot of money difference for us. It's the fact that it makes us eligible for that community crossings funds.
Do we know what the estimated revenue from this particular tax
Roughly,
by
it's
itself?
about 80,000 or so.
80,000 a year.
Yeah. I think Jasper's looking at, and they're, I believe, projected 180 over there on theirs. So.
What are residents gonna see when they go to the license branch? That's kind of, I think.
Well, where they would see the county in the past, they would see that just broken down between county and city.
I mean, right now they got a plate fee and then they got a excise and then I
Yeah.
can't, I don't remember
So
how it all
instead of
goes.
saying county. wheel
So you got
tax,
the
we'll-
excise and you got the wheel tax, which are two different things, but it'd be the same thing that's on your plate right now. If you pull out your registration and your bill,
County wheel surtax. It's $8 now. I guess municipal wheel and surtax would be where that would go in that empty box. There's a box for county and then there's another box right to the right of it says MUN, municipal. So that would be the city. Right now it's 0.
zero.
What would,
But how does that, how does that not go up? If you,
Municipal goes up, but the county goes down. The county portion.
okay, so each,
Is that for everybody in the city limits?
Yes.
Everyone who registers a car.
Register.
Whose address is in the city limits.
Yeah.
so if you're out in the country, you fall to the county?
Yes.
what,
Yeah,
and what
but-
kind of vehicles? Does it like trucks, same as
Well,
cars?
Well, there's actually two different taxes. So the legislature allows municipalities to enact a local option highway user taxes. And so this ordinance that was being proposed would add chapter 41 to add these local option highway user taxes. The wheel tax is a tax that's imposed on larger vehicles like buses, RVs, semi-tractor trailers, heavy industrial and commercial type vehicles. And the statute allows municipalities to charge between $5 and $40 on those vehicles. This ordinance is consistent with other communities in the area that are charging $35. There's also a municipal vehicle license excise tax. Now that's for passenger vehicles, smaller trucks, smaller trailers. And your municipalities are authorized to impose a tax of $7.50 up to $25, and we're proposing $25. It would also include motorcycles, and those are being proposed at $15 per motorcycle, the municipal tax. The ordinance has to be adopted and certified to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles and the Department of Revenue by September 1 in order to be eligible for community crossings grant funds. And the tax revenues from that can only be used to construct, reconstruct, repair, maintain streets and roads under the jurisdiction of the city, and as a contribution toward grants for local road and bridge matching grant funds.
So I'm just thinking of my own personal situation. I got 2 pickup trucks, one's an antique. I got 2 daily drivers. I've got 2 trailers. One's a enclosed trailer and one's a flatbed trailer. My
What is
wife
the
says I
weight?
need to get rid of some stuff, but
Is it 9,000 or less?
and
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
okay.
and I have a golf cart. And so, did I hear you say trailers?
Mhm.
Yeah, trailers, the wheel tax for the larger vehicles would include trailers with a declared gross weight of more than 9,000 pounds, and trucks and tractors with a declared gross weight of more than 11,000 pounds.
It
They
doesn't
would be
work.
imposed,
Or
they would
less.
they would get imposed a higher tax, $35. Now, the smaller vehicles, smaller taxes, smaller vehicles such as passenger vehicles, trailers and vehicles, trailer vehicles with a declared gross weight of less than 9,000 pounds and trucks declared gross weight of less than 11,000 pounds would be subject to the $25 motor vehicle license excise fee. And
Okay.
motorcycles, motor-driven cycles would be $15.
The
I don't
buses
know
are
how
in
this
there, but I
compares.
think we only have probably 1 or 2 buses that qualify in the city.
I don't know how
Because
this. how this
schools and
compares to
churches
the-
are exempt.
I don't know how this compares to the current county or what their rate is going to be.
Yeah, a little bit, I think they're actually looking at based upon the value of the car. You know, the 10%.
Yeah, the municipal has to be a flat
Yeah.
dollar.
So essentially anything that you would register at the BMV is gonna be taxed.
That's correct.
So my golf cart, I only register that at the local police department,
that's
that's
not
not gonna
taxed.
have any tax.
That's
Okay,
to put a license plate.
unless I put a license plate on it, yeah, okay.
But if we're doing a flat tax, we also have a ridiculous fleet of vehicles, and like my husband has a Dodge Ram truck that's like 100 years old, and that is $87 to register it. But if we have this on it, it's gonna be $25 plus the 87. I mean, that's
Yeah.
significant. Like, I think that's gonna be a big jump for some people if they're used to registering. I mean, if you have a vehicle and your registration is normally $400, this isn't gonna make that big of an impact, but you have
Well,
some people that are,
they're paying that now.
so it's gonna, but
It's just gonna, they're not gonna get double taxed.
so, but, okay, I guess maybe I just need to look up my registration, cause I think that is it gonna be from the state and the county? On the one, that he had pulled up, that Jeff had pulled up, it was like his county wheel tax was like $8.
You know, this municipal would replace the county. And I don't know the difference. I mean, this proposal may be more than what the county is charging now. Because
So
ours
is
is
that on
your old truck?
This is on my, it's a,
Only four?
it's a 2014
Yeah, it's on your four.
Acura.
Oh, it's on it. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and it shows a county wheel / surtax of $8. There's excise tax, of course, but the wheel tax is just 8 on that vehicle.
And what's the excise?
49.
Okay, so that, the 8 and the 49 go together, and then we'll take the 25 out of that
the
total.
25 would be, that would be reduced by 25. The county's portion would be reduced by 25, and that 25 would come to the city.
Okay,
So
I can get next to that as long as that's how that works.
yeah,
If I don't add $25 to that, you know.
I agree, because I think that if
I have a
it's just-
fleet too.
Yeah, that was one of the things that they did to get the legislation
Yeah.
through, is that they did away with stacking, you know, where
Mhm.
cities and counties stacked a tax on top of a tax. So that stacking has gone away, so it comes out of their portion. Basically, we're gonna be giving them part of their portion, and they're gonna be taking, versus us taking 6.4% of theirs.
Well, the way it sounds, we have no choice if we want to continue to get community crossings money. Or at least larger portions of community crossings money.
So then will
That's
we,
yeah, calling it skin in the game.
will we have to,
It's
we won't
phrase
have to
wouldn't-
pay the county back any portion, like we'll keep that $25 per vehicle, or will we have to pay them another portion? too?
No, it'll just come out of their portion. So like if they're getting 50 and the tax is 25, they get 25, we get 25, so.
Okay,
So is it fair to say then, if I boil this down, all this discussion, that people are really not gonna see any difference when they go register their vehicles?
No,
just the
What if,
boxes.
what
of
if the
the-
county raises? Can the county raise theirs?
They could, they can go up to, well, they could go to up to 25, I believe.
and then they go to 40 on trucks versus 35. So 35 applies to buses, recreational vehicles, trailers, any trailer with a gross weight more than 9,000 pounds, trucks and tractors with a gross weight more than 11,000 pounds. That's the most expensive one out there.
So the county's not really in jeopardy at this point of losing community crossings grant money because they already have a wheel tax in place. Even though
Correct.
it's only $8, they don't have to pass this type of ordinance.
Right.
Because they've already got it in place. They could raise it, but they don't have to address it at all if they don't have to address it at all in order to keep their involvement in community crossings.
Right. And
Okay.
just about don't know if this is going to happen every year, but this past year, just about every county around us got the maximum 1 million when they applied for it. Cities didn't. I know Jasper didn't the first go round. We got 171,000. Applied for 930, so, but all the county and the counties around us all got 1 million.
Okay, and I'm just.
We don't know how that competitive portion of community crossing, why people get nothing or get 100,000 and other people get 500. It's never really been told to us that it was just, that it was competitive application and they scored better than us. You know, there was a community not far away from here, but, in southern Indiana where the mayor missed signing one page and they lost out on every penny. So, they did give them a chance to come back in June and reapply, even though they didn't have a, wheel tax in place. So,
So what do we need to do tonight? Make a first motion?
2026, 2028.
Yeah, you could introduce it tonight. You could pass it could suspend the rules if you wanted to and pass it on the same night. Although this is a pretty significant ordinance, you might want to consider holding it over. And consider final adoption on August 25th. That would only give us, of course, 5 days or so to get certified copies to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles and the Department of Revenue, but I'm sure that can be done.
I,
I would say hold over and pass on the second reading.
yeah, I agree with Glenn.
I like-
that was our
That was-
thought coming into this.
I think we need the opportunity for public comment or whatever. Make sure that they're clear on what's being.
That would be that would be my suggestion anyway. I think Tom and
There are a bunch
Phil
of,
are in agreement with that too.
there's a bunch of exemptions in here, you know, for, you know,
Yeah, there are,
buses and school
Very-
buses and
right,
funeral, whatever, certain things, but
exemptions for vehicles owned by the state of Indiana, by any state agency, by political subdivisions, by religious nonprofit organizations, youth organizations, school buses, funeral equipment used in the operation of funeral services. Yeah, there are some exemptions.
I think I heard you say earlier, maybe I didn't understand, but the budget hearing is on the 24th. And we would pass this on the 25th if we pass it on the 25th.
budget review is on 24th. The budget hearing isn't till October 3rd.
Gotcha. So we're okay with that.
we're just having
timing then.
discussions on the 24th, and then we're gonna build the budget off of those discussions.
The 24th is not a
It's just a
budget
work
hearing.
session.
It's a work session, a public work
gotcha.
session. People can come and observe and listen to the discussion, but it's not a public hearing.
Okay.
So you have
We need a motion for first pass.
Introduce.
I'll make the
Introduce.
motion to Introduce 2026-28 on wheel tax.
I'll second.
we have first and second for introduction. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, just look at that because there are two sections. There is a wheel tax and then the excise tax or tax are two.
Yeah, again, the wheel tax is for
Everything,
larger
so-
vehicles, larger industrial commercial vehicles, and the motor vehicle excise tax is for passenger type vehicles, smaller vehicles.
It isn't our intent to raise people's taxes. Well, the intent is make us eligible for community crossings.
Right, I know we can.
It's semantics and the legislators really, originally, if you're paying, your citizens are paying a wheel tax. You know, it was our contention and with our legislators to we should be eligible for community crossings.
Right now I'm thinking that the county is gonna have to make up that difference somehow, but it sounds like they were getting a disproportionate
Yeah.
share of the tax anyhow from the beginning if they were getting.
Yeah, and they're giving away their share, part of their share to the other communities right now, so. Yeah, the smaller communities that don't have a lot of large licensed vehicles could lose a little bit, but they're not getting a whole lot right now anyway. It's, I don't even remember our portion that we received last year. But I just remember it came out 6.4%. That's all I remember, but the total county collections. So,
And now we'll be getting closer to the 50%.
and we have a little,
I'm not sure.
Not according to the county.
No.
No.
No,
We just have a dedicated amount. per
Well, I guess
vehicle.
I'm thinking per vehicle, the tax, if I'm putting 50%, like in your case with the car that if we're getting, a little bit.
depends
less,
on
but
type of car and
40%
everything. It
works.
could be 20 in some cases.
Yeah.
You know, there's different.
Okay.
And just realize that in that pool will not be trucks that are licensed in other parts of the county, so the pool will be smaller too, so.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right, next, City Attorney Phil Schneider.
The last session of the legislature has also increased the allowance, annual clothing allowance and the annual automobile allowance that municipalities who contract with volunteer fire departments must pay volunteer firemen. We currently pay, I think it's an annual allowance of about $150 for clothing and $100 for use of their personal vehicle in discharging their duties as volunteer firemen. That has been increased by the legislature, requiring us to increase that to the annual clothing allowance of $250 per year and an annual allowance, motor vehicle allowance of $250 for a total of $500 per year. Still a pretty modest allowance. But this would bring our code of ordinances for those allowances into compliance with state law.
Is that something new that just
Yes,
passed?
Just this
Yeah.
past
Yeah.
session of
Okay.
the legislature, yes.
Just passed it. And
Do we know how much that,
we always have received the clothing and car allowance. And it does go well to help, because we drive our personal vehicles to the
Scene.
to the scene a lot, so it helps on the gas and expense. Clothing. So, but definitely helps on the automobile.
It's not enough to make anybody join the fire department.
No,
$500 a year.
how
So-
many firemen will this apply to?
It's 30, ain't it?
But how many?
30,
30, isn't it?
Times $250, so
$7,500.
it's really not
Yeah,
that.
It was 7,500, now it'll be 15.
yeah.
15,000
Just have to
total.
increase that
It'll be
budget.
7,500 more.
Worst of it is they'll have to suffer through the rest of the year without having a budget. So we'll put it in
He
a-
says he can handle it.
we'll put it in the budget for next year.
Okay.
You got an ordinance number?
Yeah, ordinance 2026-29.
I make a motion to introduce ordinance 2026-29.
I'll second that.
We have first, second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Pass that on the same.
I'll
night
make it.
reading.
We'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
I'll second.
Got a motion to suspend and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
Make a motion now to accept 2026-29.
Second it?
Got a first and a second to accept 2026-29, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You got a
Kissling,
Aye.
Bounds,
Aye.
McFerrin.
Aye.
Bolte,
Aye.
Ware. 4 ayes, 1 absent.
All right, motion carries. Thank you. Sure, the firefighters appreciate that. That's pretty modest for what
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
Burn that much in gas.
And
All right.
Clerk Treasurer Thomas Dipple,
I have nothing.
do we have any council items tonight?
I have nothing. Citizens?
All right, any citizen items? All right, should I come forward to the podium, say your name?
We gotta know
we'll-
who you
We'll
are.
have to, it's a public here, so we need to have that up here.
Hi, my name is Michelle Kendall. I live at 210 East Northview Drive, and if I get emotional, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We have this surplus, the land that we have. We have approximately 1 acre. We have 2 emotional support dogs living on the property, one for my late husband, one for my late mother. We have 2 Great Pyrenees parents, Bonnie and Clyde, and 3 babies. Charity, Phoebe, and Trident. We are currently over the limit for the dogs. When they were 4 months old, we went to the pound in Jasper. We asked them for help in finding homes for these gentle giants. They're not little dogs. They think that they're lap dogs, but they are not. Believe me, they are not. Allie at the pound said that they did not have room for them, even though we surrendered them to the pound. But they did ask us if we would foster our own dogs. They were born January 15th of 2025. We never had a single complaint in our neighborhood until April of this year. We received a letter from Dawn down in the code enforcement stating that there was a complaint about the dogs. We don't have, all of our other neighbors love the dogs. Their children come over and play. We no longer have coyotes coming onto our properties that back up to Randy's agricultural land. So everybody in the neighborhood does appreciate having the dogs. They do not leave our yard. We purchase in-ground fence collars, so they stay within the boundaries of our property. We're constantly in communication with the pound, asking if anybody has requested a large dog. We have been in contact with the Great Pyrenees Rescues that are in Indiana and Kentucky. They have not gotten back to us yet. The dogs were over a year old before our first complaint came in. We tried to make them known to be more accessible to be adopted. However, again, we came to closed doors about a large dog. Our dogs do not stay out 24/7. They have comfy beds with air conditioning in the house and get to go out and go play. Dawn, then when we came in and we explained all this, we thought, Richard and I thought, with the pound and with code enforcement, that we were all on the same page as knowing we are trying to find homes for these dogs. However, we're having a hard time with it. So, Dawn called us back around the 1st of July and said, I thought we had this taken care of. And I said, so did I. We're still working with the pound. We're still fostering our dogs. He said, well, I got another complaint. I said, I guess the neighbor across the street did. Kitty corner from us. Said, I can't tell you names. I said, okay. I said, is it because we let him out at 5:30 in the morning to go potty? Because everybody else in the neighborhood is getting up at that time to get ready and go to work? He said, I can't tell you. I said, okay. We changed the times that our dogs go out. They now go out at 7 a.m. to go do their potties. We had tried to be good neighbors with our dogs. We don't let them bark constantly. I will tell you that Don even said he had made a comment which gave me the indication maybe he lived close to us, because he said, I never hear your dogs bark. I said, well, do you live close? And he said, well, I walk. He said, my next door neighbor's dogs bark more than yours do, and they only have like 2 or 3. I said, well, they're not aggressive dogs. They're just big. So Don said, well, let me get back with you. We sent a packet to Mr. Schneider asking for a special exception to still have the dogs on property while they have been surrendered. We have the pound have the surrender paperwork on them. we're just asking that they stay on our property until the pound either has a spot for them or they get adopted out. Last Friday, we did adopt one. So he went to a new home. We still have two that we need to find homes for. However, because of the statutes and the laws in Huntingburg, which we are not trying to violate, at the end of this month, we will start getting fined $25 for the first day, 50 for the second, 100 for the third, and every day thereafter, because we have 2 extra dogs. The 2 extra dogs actually are emotional support dogs. Because my late husband passed away and my mother passed away, I'm not going to put their dogs down. They still get to stay on the property. But they still get counted as part of the 7. We came tonight to ask you to please reconsider and give us 60 days to still continue to work with these Great Pyrenees rescues and the pound in Jasper and allow us to keep the dogs on our properties for another 60 days. That's what we are asking. We have absorbed all costs. We have not taken anything from the pound. We have not asked the city of Huntingburg to help us. They have all been spayed and neutered. They all have in-ground fence collars on. They all have had their shots. They get their treats, their dog food, and believe me, at about 350 pounds of dog food a month, that's on us, because we want to make sure that these dogs go to a good home. We don't want to have to euthanize because we won't be able to pay these fines that will rack up. Please just give us another 60 days to try to work with these Pyrenees rescues and find 2 dogs homes. That's all we're asking. Thank you.
Thank you.
What options are available to us?
Well, your ordinance provides that, in our UDO, a kennel is defined as the keeping of more than 5 dogs or cats that are at least 6 months of age or older. And as I understand, Don received a complaint in April and notified Ms. Kendall of the violation. No fine was issued, and she had agreed to bring the property in compliance. Time passed, and apparently a neighbor complained, and Don had thought that the dogs had been adopted out to bring the number down to 5, but apparently they have not. And the code enforcement department gave them 30 days to come into compliance. Otherwise, they would begin initiating fines. And our ordinance provides that every day that the violation continues is considered a separate violation and subject to separate fines. And so they gave them, I think, in the last part of July, 30 days, July 30th or something, 30 days from July 30th to bring the property in compliance. And that's where we stand. What are your options? Well, I guess your options are to you could instruct a code enforcement officer to proceed as he has planned or as he's indicated, or you could give him other instructions.
What is probably a tough question, but what constitutes setting up a kennel? I mean, is that a professional? You have to have the right
No,
zoning and.
it's just defined as keeping 5 or more animals on your property. There's a limit on how many animals, how many
Right.
dogs that are allowed by ordinance in the city of Huntingburg on your property, on a residential property. A property is zoned residential.
There's no way out of that unless if you have
You-
have some bit, have some license or something. I don't know
No.
anything about, this is not my.
You've
No, it would
essentially
have
given
to-
up.
It would
two of
have to
those
be,
Dogs, is that correct?
Yes.
To the
Two of them are
Yes,
considered foster
5
now.
of them have been taken as surrender to the pound.
But we still have them as foster.
We are
We
only
didn't know
fostering.
if
They
there
don't-
was a
Until the
special
pound has
provision
rooms for them.
that would allow-
That's,
And that is on file, and actually, Mr. Schneider does have copies of the surrender paperwork that we filed with. We actually filed it, when they were 4 months old, and we started making the appointments to get them all spayed and neutered. We couldn't take them all in at once, because there was other people that needed those appointments as well. And we surrendered them when they were 4 months old. Unfortunately, the computer system at the pound transferred over and our paperwork got lost. We were not notified of that. We thought we were still on the surrender, to be foster parents. So we redid the paperwork with the pound. So yes, we have surrendered these dogs. However, they constantly, the pound in Jasper are constantly getting stray dogs off the street and having to house them. And they know that our dogs, their dogs, the adoptable dogs, have a safe place to be. They're not wandering the streets. They're getting fed. They're getting their shots. We're just asking for a special exception to allow us the time to find some more homes. We found one, but it took a little.
how long would the exception, what would be considered a reasonable exception of time?
We have talked about this, and we never put our dogs out on Facebook, because there's too many quote, weirdos out there. Will they use them for fighting dogs? So that was not an option. That's why we went to the town. They are in touch with other agencies as well. We're asking for 60 days.
We don't
And
even
to-
know if that will be long enough, in all honesty. But at least if we get it that far out, maybe we could come and talk again, hopefully have one more dog gone. I mean, it's really honestly, the pound is where it's them and, what we can find out through the rescue areas, and nobody's taken any dogs. No pound out of
We've
Huntingburg
called them
will
all.
take them because we don't live in their jurisdiction, so they will not take surrendered dogs. Our pound, Ally called us today and she said she still does not have room because of all the strays and stuff that are being picked up and taken to them. So, and we're kind of stuck. I mean, we don't know what to do. We don't want to take them and have them euthanized. That's for sure. That's not, I mean, it's not their fault. I know our fault. We didn't get them fixed in time.
It was.
So that's why we're eating the cost of them raising, but while we're trying to get rid of them through the pound,
We named them Bonnie and Clyde, and believe me, they live up to their name every day. But we were also told that they were younger than what they were. We rescued them from a barn fire. And we thought that Bonnie was only about the 3 or 4 month range.
she was not.
She was not. So, it was my fault. I take responsibility. I didn't make the appointment. And guess what? I walked in from work one day, from Jasper Engines, and I heard little squeaks. And I'm like, what? I mean, we knew she was pregnant, but it was a shock. So, I mean, from day one, we said we couldn't take them all.
We know.
And we were hoping for the pound to help us. And they have been. Unfortunately, there's just
Not
not
a
room.
huge call for big farm dogs.
Unless any of you guys want to. One, two, and then
She brought
we won't
pictures.
even,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
we
prior,
won't
Gary's
even
got
bother
one,
you
yeah.
guys anymore.
no, I can't.
So
I
just
get to,
pass them on down.
Constable.
I,
Bonnie is on the top.
I-
That's Mama.
I'm too much of a dog lover to even look right
And
now because I
then
can't
we
handle.
have Trident,
Um,
and we
well-
have Phoebe, and we have Charity.
And we verified this a little bit at the beginning, but, just to let you know, adult male Pyrenees is, typically a full-grown adults, about 120 to 160 pounds. There's probably in that 120-pound range, while females are in 85 to 115 range.
Correct.
They consider that they're probably in that 90 to 115 there, so
Yeah.
most of their dogs are in the 100 to 120 pounds. These are not, lap dogs, like you said,
Jeff
so it
living
could
down
take a
there.
while to find homes for them.
Right. We went to Jinkies, like I said.
You should
and
home.
When they were about 4 months, when we started to get them, their appointments to be just, spay neuter. And Dinky told us, well, if you had brought them to us when they were 4 weeks old, we would have taken them.
But they wouldn't have even been weaned yet.
They're not weaned. How can you take them away from Mama? While
Yeah.
Mama was nursing, we took Clyde in, so this would not happen again.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. There can
We
be no
never wanted
Is
to
there-
be a breeder. That was not us. We were rescuing 2 dogs that came from a fire.
Is there any consideration to extending that time by the council? I would, if you're looking at doing it at October 13th is 62 days, 63 days, I guess. It's my wedding anniversary too, but that would be a time when you could clear it up. You know, you wouldn't want it to expire on a day when there's not a council meeting,
So
would be
that's
my
the-
feeling.
That's the council meeting closest to 60 days. So we would grant 62 days.
If that's what your wish is, I'm just giving you, throwing out the date.
62 days and report back in. If
And we told Don that we would let him know when the dogs were adopted. So, you know, and I said, what happens if we adopt these 3? And he said, well, then we
Back in
just close it because you're in compliance. That's what we're hoping for. Before the 60 days, we were hoping to call Don and go,
About a
Guess what?
62-day extension with a
we only
30-day
have
follow-up.
5.
So you have, were there there were 8
No, I'm
dogs?
There
saying, so
were.
we get a
There's
follow-up
now
on
7.
that from now
There's
or
now,
something.
Friday.
were there 4 puppies? Is
That's a
that-
good idea. It could be a
Four,
written,
three.
you could- it
Yeah,
could-
we
they
have,
don't have
we
to
have
appear, it could be a
Rockstar,
written.
Friday, Charity, and Phoebe.
They could.
30 days from now.
And
And
Bonnie,
then
we
Bonnie
can-
and
yeah.
Clyde.
Yep.
Can we-
And then,
Rockstar is gone.
Yeah.
You okay with that?
and then Boo Boo is a Great Dane Lab Mix, and he was my late
I was thinking of
husband's
30 days from now.
emotional support dog.
How about we propose a 62-day, like the October 13th day, but we'd like a follow-up at the 30 day or something. That doesn't mean you need to appear here, but I'd like to have some kind of report to Don that he
Yes,
could
yes.
give to the mayor or
Yes.
submit to us, said, okay, we've had 2 inquiries, we've adopted one, something.
Yes, and we have talked to Don about the places that we have contacted. However, as you can see from the pictures,
That gives you 2, that gives you
they're
2,
not vehicles.
basically 2 deadlines. I need
So,
we'd have
let's-
we'd have an update by the,
Let's say by the 14th, that's a Monday of September, update.
Yeah, we need some kind of
And
update. It can be just an update from Dawn to the council. You
And
don't
then-
have to appear.
And then,
Then we need an informal update on
On the 13th.
13. If it's resolved, you don't need to appear either.
Well, that's what we were hoping for. The
Right?
family that came on Friday and took
We tried to get
Rockstar.
them to take a second one. They don't know. yet.
Phoebe fell in love with her and she
Mm-hmm.
fell in love with Phoebe. And so, fingers crossed, we're hoping that they come.
make
and
sure
Yeah.
hook her up.
I'm clear, then we're gonna make the motion that we have a written report back to Don Heim by September 14th, and report back to council on October 13th if situation hasn't been resolved.
Motion made?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you.
So those will be
There
your
you go.
dates.
Thank you very much. I wrote them down, they moved down.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you for coming.
No, thank you. Brenda.
More citizen items.
They're fair people. Hi.
Aye.
Oh, oh,
Stacy Lamb. Well, I was gonna ask for an update on the UDO and what's going on with that, but I do know there was some movement of some sort on there. I would like to know a little bit more, but I guess my only request is if that you would have the departments update the city's website to put the meetings online. Yes, I know I can watch them. I don't want to watch them. They're long. And not as pleasant to listen to as you may think. But the planning commission also doesn't have much up. The economic development commission has really nothing up. The last thing on there is from 2019. Other than they have recent news from this year, but no agenda, no meetings, no minutes from this year. Same thing with the council minutes. The last minutes are from July 14th. But
Mayor, Mike,
that's
There's
I'm on the
a-
planning commission. We did discuss UDO for this. It's being proposed. We're looking at different cities and different ordinances. So yeah, we're looking at it. But we do have a fact that they have to come to special exemption.
Yeah, there was a list of items for the planning commission to consider as far as changes to the UDO. Those included stricter setbacks, including new zoning areas for those versus right now it falls under agriculture. At the time that UDO was passed, data centers weren't a thing, but I also realize that there's three different definitions, three different types of data centers. What we're trying to look at, I think, is one of the suggestions. We're looking at these high users as in heavy industrial, looking at decibel levels, utility plans submitted, as well as looking at some setbacks in the range of 400 to 500 feet versus 50 to 100. So it a little more restrictive, but not so restrictive that it becomes illegal in the way that it's instituted. So, yeah, you
Paul
can't
sent-
get too restrictive because then
Paul
you're.
sent me sent planning commission 3 examples today. Emails.
Mhm.
So we are looking.
I didn't catch the second part where you said, were you saying that the city website is not up to date? Is that what you were
yes,
alluding to?
just the minutes, the meetings. A lot of
And those
the
meetings aren't,
UDO isn't even up to
and
date.
July 14th would be the last ones that should be on there for the council. July 28th was approved today, and it goes on we don't put any minutes on until after they're approved at the next following meeting. So we have a meeting today. These are going to be approved, August 11th or,
I'll exceed
yeah, or whatever, August 11th,
August
the 25th. So
25th.
August 25th.
Yeah.
These minutes would not be on there anytime between August 11th and August 25th until they're actually approved at the
That's
next
what
meeting.
You
he
didn't have
presents
the
them, we
meeting
look at them.
July 28th.
They were just approved about an hour ago or 40 minutes ago.
Okay, so then, okay.
The meetings from the
Yeah,
or the
yeah,
minutes from the
yeah.
previous meeting have to be.
The next meeting.
And it's the same way if you have a group that met and doesn't meet every month, their minutes aren't going to be on there till the next time they meet, which may be 3 months later.
I can tell you our next plan commission meeting is canceled because we don't have anything to discuss other than what we're kicking can down the road right now.
You could discuss putting the meeting minutes online.
Yeah, can I ask, maybe Phil, you could address this. Do we provide minutes online as a convenience to the community, or is there some requirement that they be up?
There's no requirement that they be posted online, but yeah, I don't know who's in charge of updating that, our website. It is as a matter of convenience to citizens. People can request, copies of minutes, under the, Access to Public Records Act. But in order to forestall a lot of that, it's better to put it online and have it available.
Okay. We've really, I feel like we've made a lot of effort to put the meetings up live, for them to be available for people that don't want to or can't come. And the minutes do go up for the council meetings at the appropriate time. They're not being delayed. I guess what I'm understanding is as soon as we approve them. I mean, realistically, is that next day? Like, will they post them tomorrow, or is that just, it's on the pile of things to do and it might take a few days, or what's the policy on
They'll be
that?
done tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, well,
Amy takes care of it.
by the way, they have to be signed by both Tom and I.
Okay.
So if I happen to be sick tomorrow, they may not go until Thursday.
What can we do to make them more
But Tom
fun?
usually hits me as soon as I come in the door on the day
Sign
after
this
the
thing.
meetings.
They can like segment them for certain things, like you ever watched a video and you can jump to different segments instead of watching all the directions of something.
You're talking about the video?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure how to do that, but
I don't think we'd have any way of doing
I
that.
don't know.
Well,
Have
I
you
mean,
been
there's
to the
there's
website?
software that does that.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can have, I mean, you can look at, I look at software all the time. You go to, and it tells you how to do something, how to install a kitchen sink, and somewhere it'll say, 3 minutes and 14 seconds installing the drain. You could skip to that, and then you can start watching that part. That's what
you-
you're getting at, aren't you?
Yeah, Zoom doesn't provide that option. We go through YouTube, but it's a Zoom software.
YouTube has all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is-
The
is
Zoom software is different because this is a government.
Our best thing is
Security
just if
wise.
you go by the agenda to kind of be able to see sort of in the meeting where you are. hop
Ours-
forward to those.
Maybe.
Yeah, and we don't have the editing functions for a reason. That keeps people from utilizing AI and editing our videos as well as keeping us from editing things out. So everything you see is raw footage.
Are the
in those.
agendas
So we
posted
don't,
prior
that's
to
why
the
you
meeting?
can't jump forward like
My
that.
hair's out of place and they can skip it.
Don't have
It's,
to worry about that.
it's real raw. That's what I'm gonna say.
The last agenda posted for the planning commission was August 25th, 2025.
A year ago.
Yes. See my problem.
I believe
Okay.
that they haven't met much.
Have they met
Right,
since
no,
then?
they've met.
The
They've met.
Economic Development Commission
Yeah.
doesn't have one posted at all. But they also don't have any minutes from 2020.
They haven't met for they met, Economic Development Commission met this past
Month, yeah,
month.
on July
but-
That's
13th.
first time in,
Yeah, but it's been 2 years prior to that since they met. That was
Then why do we have?
one of the, it was the apartments by the hospital.
Poplar Ridge.
Yeah,
we have to do, for, when you deal with tax abatements or we have this loan fund that they have to have people that oversee that and do that, so.
We're having Du Bois Strong oversee the UDO. So why do we have an economic commission board?
Economic Development Commission is a commission that has to be maintained, had by law, so that we can issue economic development bonds and also do tax abatement. They have to approve those. They don't have applications for economic development bonds or a tax abatement every month or even every year. So they meet as needed for those projects.
They met twice since I've been mayor.
Yeah.
That's it.
it's kinda-
And their
Yeah.
minutes may not be they probably should, we probably should pay more attention to getting those on the website.
Yeah, thank you.
But their recommendations are presented to this board though, from those groups. And those minutes would be in there, so.
Is there any requirement after a meeting is completed that someone on that board submit minutes? Is somebody keeping the minutes of
Yes.
every meeting?
We have a secretary, which
So,
obviously types up the minutes we approved, like at the last planning commission, we had minutes we approved.
okay,
And next planning commission meeting, we'll have minutes again to approve.
Somebody has to do the minutes.
Yeah.
On every meeting.
There might be 2 or 3 months before those minutes become official.
Right, because he's already sent a post that we're not meeting this month.
If it's BZA, they may only meet 4 times a year.
We meet as needed because it's a paid meeting, rather than stupid to cost taxpayers money if we're not gonna discuss anything.
yeah, right.
And
Well,
they're-
so all I'm gonna suggest is that we maybe notify whoever's responsible for submitting the minutes and whoever's responsible for putting them online to get them posted. If there's meetings happening and they're not being posted, we probably ought to post them.
I think though that they did kind of bring up a good point in explanations too, where it is, because that's something that I didn't think about, that, we have a meeting and then the next meeting is where we approve it and then they're posted. So that might be something too, where they just are assuming that it's a lag on the city's part, but really it's
Yeah.
just the due process kind of
Well,
having
It's
all the
procedure.
things that need to be done. Yeah.
And I guess that same thing would be true if they met every 6 months. You wouldn't approve the minutes till the next meeting 6 months later. Is that what we're, I didn't think of it
Mhm.
that way, but I mean, it could be that those minutes might not be up there because they weren't approved and we haven't had a meeting for
Well,
6 months.
For boards like that, is there a way of being able
That's-
to approve the minutes over email or something?
No, it had to,
It
they need to be
has to
approved
be.
at the meeting.
At the meeting?
And what happens, yeah, realize too, with the Economic Development Commission and some of the other boards that meet every 2 or 3 years,
Mhm.
it's a different board, and I don't know how you go through the approval process of the previous minutes, being reviewed and approved by somebody that wasn't at that meeting. So it is kind of
Right.
there is kind of a quandary for, like, the EDC has met twice in almost 2 years and 8 months since I've been here. Actually, probably about 3 or 4 years it's been. They probably only met twice.
In the
And
years that I've
sometimes
been,
that board may be different the next time.
yeah, in the years that I've been on the council, if I compare the technology that we're using to try our best to get the public's involvement, to make the public aware, to make the public see that everything we do is above board. We've got the live meetings. We're spending a lot of money to revamp the website to make it more user friendly. I don't think anybody can say that we're trying to withhold information from the public, but I do think because it's way better now than it was 9, 10 years ago when I first got involved. But I do think there's an expectation in the community that what we do stay above board and they have access to all this stuff, all this information. And I, for one, would argue that we do our best to keep it out there in the public eye. There's nothing that I'm going to talk about that's private. We're elected by the citizens, and if somebody has a complaint about something not being on the website, please let us know. But it's way better today than it's ever been in the years that I've been on the council.
Yeah,
We encourage people to attend. We're making it easy for you to sit at home in your living room and watch.
And even to find the links for the YouTube, I think before it used to be,
Yeah.
that would be kind of clunkier, but I think that that's even gotten a lot
Yeah, I
easier
agree. I
too.
agree.
The new website is available, so we're moving into it now. I think you'll find it a lot easier. A lot of times documents were there, but they were difficult to find. The search function didn't work and areas weren't broken up. So if I we looked up something, we started looking up things, Kenley and I, just to see what would happen, and we were getting strange answers to the things we were looking for. And so she took that under consideration when she departmentalized a lot of it. So we have more icons people can go to, and it'll steer you. And it'll steer you to other websites with other information, whether it be from the parks, you might get the Bombers website, or there was a League Stadium website actually that's separate. So make it a little, I think it's going to be a lot easier to maneuver. The other one was a class project, just so you know. It was a university with a lot of college students that had a lot of knowledge, but I think they all had their section they did, and not always did they communicate together. We've had a single person doing those,
Wasn't as
but working
cohesive.
together with everybody else. And we have some training sessions coming up here real soon.
I do have a question for Tom on, since we're utility board. Was there a delay in utility billing sent out this month for some reason? I had several complaints that the utility bills were arriving late in the mail.
That happens.
Could be US Postal System.
It's supposed to-
I'm asking.
Or snail mail.
That has happened sometimes.
Okay.
I had a certified letter that was mailed in April, just received it last week.
Not,
It was
I'm
mailed
not
from-
denying that. I'm just making sure that
Mailed from Greenwood.
if there was
Indiana.
something up, I'd like to know about it, but it's not us, huh?
If it's dropped off here, it goes to Louisville first. then
Yeah, it
comes
goes,
back.
it goes all the way around. It goes out of state to come back downtown.
Yeah.
Across the street. Yeah, I get it.
It's faster to drive it to Louisville, put it in a box, because it'll come back
I
quicker.
have to come here first and then go back.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else?
Or do we have a,
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
okay, we got a first, second, a motion to adjourn. All those in favor?
All right.
Any opposed?
Didn't know
Okay,
Carrie
motion
was the
carries.
one talking.
I
Thank
looked
you.
at him. I offered it to him.
6:29 PM.
Huh?
JC Lamb?
He's been here a couple of times.
Is that Holly Bartle?
Nope, no.
Okay, I've got.
J.C. Lamb.
Okay,
Thank you, guys.
okay, I don't know.
No, which where she live at? She lives,
She
Not
lives in
Brad.
Smusher's old house. Yes, okay.
That girl there
Good
does?
luck, and
Yes.
I